I kind of dig it here that I am bearish where Stu is bullish, but I dig that the money flow is coming down. I really like how high the regression band went, how high the TDI went here. We're all the way up at 77 here on the 1 hour, and I think that's due for a come around. But I'm actually making this for, well, you know who you are. So just real quick, let me turn off these things. Probably the very first thing that new traders get into is they get into like a moving average. A moving average here. Let's just put a couple of these on here. So I'm just going to change these settings to something that we could really look at. I'm just going to change this to 11 and 21. And then on this moving average, I'm going to change it to, just make it something bigger so that we could kind of look at it. And then let me move this one. And I'm going to get here quickly, so just bear with me here. Let's change this one to yellow so we can kind of see it a little bit better. And let's move this the 50. Why not? Now, moving averages are exactly what they are. There was a 50 time frame and an 11 time frame. And if you could just see here, and moving averages are one's obviously fast, that would be the 11 period moving average. One's obviously much slower, that would be the 50 moving average. Take a short, take a long, get wrecked, take a short, win, take a long, win. So this would be like the simplest thing, and you could actually do this. You're not going to be able to enter into very many trades, and you're going to miss the tops and the bottoms, which is not what we want to do. Something a little bit better than a moving average and the exponential moving average. Now the exponential moving average, and let me just get in here. The short length, let's make that 11. Let's make that 21, and I don't know, 55. Make them all fib numbers. And if you only have the free version of TradingView, you get all these for free. They're in there. They're canned. This is something very similar to the moving average, but this is the exponential moving average. The exponential moving average is where candles that are closer to the time being now are given greater weight, and it's actually per a Fibonacci pattern, believe it or not. You know, if you were on an 11 or a 21 or a 55, you would draw out different periods or what the indicator does for you, and the candles in this period are more heavily weighted. Basically, all the candles that are up close are weighted more. So there's that. But even better than this, all indicators are time, volume, and price. The moving averages just base themselves on price and time. A better way of doing this would be to use your SSL. SSL is a type of indicator that incorporates volume into moving average. So all you would have to do is come over here to the indicators, just type in SSL, and there's going to be quite a few of them in there. And these are the two that you would really want, and they're the two with the most downloads or the most people that are using them. SSL channel and SSL hybrid. So let's just go ahead and add these to the chart. So this is your SSL channel. Now the way it's basically a moving average, except it calculates or it draws from the high and low of the previous candles, and it starts to average those. So you're going to see something, and the people here in the Discord, they're going to notice this right away. So the way you trade the SSL breakouts would be when you can see how this red band and the green band right here, they kind of flip, right? That would be your short entry. That would be your long entry. That would this flip right here, this would be your short entry. But these don't always win. So how can you increase your win rate? One way, and there's a number of different ways you could do it. You could do it with just a moving average that has a very long moving average that kind of tells you which way the market's going. So let's turn on the SSL hybrid, but first we're gonna turn off, we don't need the ATR bands. We just want the market trend. So we could turn off a bunch of this stuff. We could just turn off a bunch of this stuff. We just really want the market trend that takes into account the moving averages that are based on Because what the SSL does is it takes the highs and lows and it incorporates it in a special mathematical way. We don't need the upper channel SSL. We just need the baseline, really. And then in the input here, instead of 60, let's just change that to like 200. Now this is going to be a very, very long 200 period moving average that takes into account volume, and it will tell us a general direction of the market. So when this general trend of the market is upwards with the blue band, and again, this is a moving average that takes into account volume, we're only going to be looking to take longs. So, and this works on all time frames, even 5-minute time frame. But so the green flipped let's just really zoom in here so you can really see this. The green flipped the red. That's where we take a long, but we're only going to take a long as the trend is upwards. We enter into a long, boom. Okay, it flipped again, but we're not going to take a short. We may want to take profit. We may want to hang on to the trade a little bit. Say we close the trade, it flipped back again. We're going to take another long here because the general direction of the market is upwards. This kind of trading goes back, forever. Moving averages and SSL has been around for a very long time. Whether to trigger a long or a short general trend of the overall market, that's been around forever. So this is very simple. So again, the market here is going up. It flips. The red and the green, it flips right there. You're not going to take a short. If you took a short, you're going to get wrecked. So maybe you closed out your long. That would have been a nice long right there. You would have entered here. Maybe you exit. When it flips again, that's a 9.27% increase. And then let's kind of come over here. Maybe you exit it. Okay, so maybe we're going to jump back in it, and then you jump back in it, and you hit another little pump. Here we crossed over, and on the 1 hour, if you obey the rules, you're not going to enter into a short just yet, because this could just as easily, this candle could come up. So moving average, exponential moving averages, SSL is a moving average that takes into account volume. These indicators, if you don't have the MDX indicators, are great. So if you got a free TradingView account, I think you could have 3 or 5 indicators. You don't really need that many. These are the ones you want: SSL channel, SSL hybrid, and it'll be the 2 that have the very most downloads or the very most users that are using them. And I recommend highly that you get the MDX oscillator suite, join and I'll put a link, join the MDX oscillator crowd. It is the best Discord for crypto. One of the indicators that you get is this MDX ALGO3 indicator. So let's just go ahead and add that to the chart. It's a very powerful indicator. Sometimes it takes a second to pump on. And you know what? I'm going to change the color on the SSL channel from off of this green and red. And I'm going to change it just so it differentiates itself from the MDX Algo 3. And let me change this to yellow. Let me change this one to blue. So now we have the MDX Algo 3 indicator, which instead of 2 lines, you don't really need 2 lines. So we already went over the crossword. Let me turn it off because I think it's a little bit... So what the MDX Algo 3 does, instead of having 2 bands that flip red and green, it puts this right on it. And there's a lot of other bells and whistles that are in the MDX Algo 3. For right now, the only bell we're going to look at is the color change. So when price flips from red to green, you can imagine 2 bands here, one red and one green. And price flipping. So this is a moving average that takes into account volume on the MDX Algo 3, which is time, price, volume. Those are the 3 legs of the chair that you want in all your indicators. So you have this here, and it'll pump you up. And then you see here how it kind of flipped. Not only that, but you could come in here And you could change this, which you can't do on a regular SSL indicator, or I haven't seen any yet, but you could change it to exponential moving average. You could do a simple moving average, a volume weighted moving average. I like to keep it on exponential moving average or volume weighted moving average, but you could just keep it right out of the can, exponential moving average. Now, just similarly how we did the SSL channel and the SSL hybrid, let me put these on here. So, crossover, pushing up, we're only looking for longs. We had a crossover over here. We're only looking for shorts. So let me turn these off. One of the awesomeness, the mad scientist genius here in the MDX ALGO3 is you could come in here and just like we showed you, we had the SSL channel, which flipped red and green, and then we had the SSL hybrid, and we changed the average to 200 to give general market direction. You could come in here into MDX ALGO3. You could select trend 2. Trend 1 is the 21 moving average of what you have on the chart. I'm currently on the 1 hour chart, and trend 2 is the 21 moving average. And just trust me on this, it's like 4 times or a higher time frame. So we're just going to turn this on, and I'm just going to show you how this looks exactly like. Where did it go? Hang on.
Smoker, you closed out the window instead of telling it okay.
Oh, I did? Oh, thank you. Oh, the eyeball's circling. MDX ALGO3 is crunching a lot of numbers in the background. So if we just had the SSL channel, I'm going to turn it on. Remember, we turned it to yellow and blue. There was a crossover right here, and let's super zoom into that so you could see that. So we could see that. You see how the yellow and blue had the crossover, and the MDX SSL, it's only one band. It's not 2 bands. We don't have a yellow and a blue band. Mad scientist genius. It just goes from green to red, green to red. That's all you really need to know, and you just need to know when it crosses over price. So let's go ahead and let's turn off the SSL channel. We have an SSL channel here, moving average that takes into account volume. But it's only one line, and it doesn't crowd up your charts, which you could just have all kinds of moving averages and all kinds of silliness going on in the chart. And I was listening to the stream earlier here in the Discord, and people were like, for some winning strategies. This could be, you enter into a long when it's green. When price crosses over, add a little bit more. When you actually have a crossover, add a little bit more. When you have a crossover, maybe take a little bit out, because maybe it comes back in. So you could go and back test this yourself. But this is, you could see how this higher time frame SSL and channel, which is only one line, red or green, and then this faster 1 hour time limit. I believe this is the 4 hour. So all you have to do is really look at this. There's a lot of winning traders that just look at maybe some volume candles, a VWAP, and moving averages. I think it's silly for people to just look at moving averages. If you don't take into account volume, you're gonna miss your perfect entries. Well, take my word for it. You want to go into volume. That's all I wanted to say with this. If anybody has any questions, this is Mad Scientist Genius. And again, this is not for the guys in the Discord here. This is old hat to all you guys. And that's it. I'm done. Seacrest out.